What's going on, everybody? We are back with another short moto vlog. Got to make a little run up to town. Go pick up a little something and figure I'd take y'all along with me. So let's get going. All right, off we go. So how is everybody doing? Hope y'all are doing good. We got a beautiful day for a ride. I'm off work today, so it'll be a good day to get the old motorcycle out a little bit. So I've got to run over to the butcher because me and my wife are going to have tuna steaks tonight. They're so yummy. We're just going to do sesame crusted seared tuna. Really looking forward to it. Oh, it's been a little while since I've been on a motorcycle. Just hadn't really had much of a chance to ride here recently. It's either been rainy or it's been a little bit chilly, or I've just been busy. Been doing a lot of stuff around the house on top of working. So I hope y'all are doing good. I hope y'all are excited to see another moto vlog out. I really enjoy making these. They're a lot of fun. I've had pretty good reception on my moto vlogs overall, and I've been pretty happy with it. I still really haven't improved the audio quality as far as the wind noise is concerned. Kind of still running on the same setup I've been having. I really want to get a different setup, but the setup that I want to get, or should I say I need to get for this particular helmet of mine, it's stupid expensive. I mean, really expensive. I don't make any money from YouTube. I do this for the fun of it, so any money I put into gear or computer stuff or whatever towards making YouTube content, that's all straight out of my pocket. It'd be nice at some point in time to start earning ad revenue so I can at least take that money and invest it back into my YouTube stuff, whether it be motorcycle equipment, better recordings, or upgrade my computer, buying video games, whatever it is. But you know, that's not why I make the content. I don't make it to be able to make money off of it. I make it off as fun. Like I said, it would just be nice to get some of that ad revenue to be able to put back into all of the YouTube related stuff, make better quality content. It's like we got a, is that the Scooter Brothers? I think that's the Scooter Brothers up ahead. It is. I don't think they're actually brothers, but yeah, you can see them now. It's two guys. They ride scooters around. They're all over the area. We see them all the time. They're really, really nice guys. I've talked to them numerous times. They just get out. They do their thing. They don't bother a soul. They're super nice guys. But going back to what I was saying. Yeah, I would really love to be able to upgrade some of my equipment to be able to have better quality content. But man, this stuff's expensive. If you've never looked into it, you should. It hurts your feelings. thing I can say is with all you guys' support, channel's definitely been growing quite a bit. I love seeing the growth. Last time I checked, I'm at 384 or 5 subscribers, I believe it is. I checked last night. So it's been going pretty strong. And for those of you that have come over to this video from watching my OCRP content, I know some of y'all might be subscribers to me. Some of y'all might be fellow OCRPers. I appreciate all of y'all. And any of y'all that are just subscribed, I appreciate y'all equally as much. And anybody who's here for the Motovlogs, I'm excited to have you here. I really am. If that's all you're here for, then great, because that's all this video is. I will talk about my OCRP stuff a little bit here and there, but I don't dwell on it. I would love to get a big fan base for motovlogging. I'm sure there's other people out there that currently motovlog. They can give me advice on equipment or things that I could do to improve my motovlogging content. I've watched some motovloggers out there and kind of watched what they do. And I'm not trying to copy anyone, but one thing I have noticed is you got to be a talker. Riding around in silence isn't much fun to watch. And I can be a talker, but I'm still getting used to going out in public and just talking to a camera. Well, in my case, more of a microphone. So I'm still kind of getting used to that. It's definitely odd. I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I get ready to record gaming content, I get a little self-conscious just from my wife hearing me talking in game and playing my characters and stuff. I know some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm gradually getting more comfortable with it. I'm sure people look at me like I'm funny whenever I'm sitting at a stoplight just talking to myself. Alright, we're coming up through Dunn. If y'all watched my last video where I was running errands, y'all have seen this road before. I was in that other video. I went over here to Archie's to pick up an appliance part, and we're going to be going right by Archie's again. But this time we are going to the Organic Butcher, which I believe I pointed it out in the last video. I showed y'all the Organic Butcher, but today we are actually going to buy some meat. Their tuna steaks up here, in fact, from my understanding, pretty much all of their fish is sushi grade. And their food up here is delicious. They sell slightly more exotic cuts of meat as well as all of your standard, but it's all very good quality. And we're in the little downtown section. You know, this section, they actually redid this downtown area quite a few years ago. From my understanding, it's because somebody was planning on filming a movie here. So they redid all the sidewalks and the street lights and all that stuff, and like really prettied it up down here. But then the movie fell through. So they ended up not, they didn't waste the money by no means, because it looks so much better down here. But they definitely poured a lot of money into it only to not have the movie filmed here. From time to time they have street dances and little concerts and little festivals down in this downtown section, generally right on this particular road itself. And they'll close the street off, and you know, it's a decent little time if you're into that. Street dances aren't necessarily my forte, and depending on who's playing, you know, I may be into the concert, I may not be. Alright, let's back this thing right down in here. Alright guys, I will be back in just a few minutes. Alright guys, we got our tuna steaks. And while I was in there, I got a few scallops. I love pan frying some scallops. They're really good if you cook them right, but you gotta cook them right, that's for sure. Alright, we'll stick this in the bag and we will get rolling again. We'll take a little bit of a scenic route home. Not exactly sure how we're going yet, but we'll go somehow or another. You know what? I do think I know how we're gonna go. Yeah, I do. Alright. Yeah, I love this butcher here. It's as you can see on the side of the wall, organic butcher. And some of their stuff is shipped in, some of their stuff is sourced from, I think a couple of the employees have farms. So some of their meat's grown on their own farms. But they have all kinds of different fishes, different types of beef and pork. They'll sell tomahawk steaks in there. They'll sell elk steaks. Occasionally you'll find some of the Wagyu beef in there. Then they have all your typical, you know, your ribeyes, your New York strips, filet mignons. They do specialty stuff where they'll have like bacon wrap something or stuffed pork chops, different things. But yeah, they have a good selection. One thing I will say is they are a little pricey. But you know, also know what they say, you get what you pay for. I got recommended a place to go one time to get some meat. And so I went there, and not that the meat wasn't good quality, because it was, but whenever I buy something like ribeyes or New York strips, I like for them to be 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. That's my preferred thickness. And I got there, and they weren't per se thin, but maybe a 1/2 inch thick. I don't know, just wasn't my preference. Well, guys, I was sitting there at that light. I'll probably trim that little bit of wait time out, because the van beside me, they had their windows down. They were just kind of staring at me. It was a little weird. So I felt very uncomfortable sitting there talking while I was sitting there at the light. So I just went silent at the light. Like I said, I'll end up trimming that little bit out of this video just so y'all don't have to sit there in silence waiting for my light to turn green. Done now, and we're going to come down here by the Food Line Distribution Center. I'm debating whether I want to turn there or if I want to take y'all out a little bit longer. Don't really want this recording to be too short, but at the same time, there's no sense of dragging it out either. Good Lord, this road is bumpy. John Deere dealer. 2012, I think it was, 2011, 2012. There was some tornadoes that ripped through North Carolina. And when they come through here, they come right, or some of them came right through here. And they damaged a bunch of stuff around here. And right across from us is Alphen Brothers, or what's left of it. But it damaged Alphen Brothers to the point that they had to close. And you see there on the left, remnants of the building. And a couple trailers that are still sitting there from whenever the building closed, way back all those years. Over to the left is Food Line Distribution. They got hit. They got damaged pretty good, too. Wow. Good job. But yeah, Food Line Distribution got hit pretty hard. The whole section of our building got tore up, and if I'm not mistaken, it was the section where the freezer was, and the freezer went out. So I imagine they lost a bunch of food out of there, or just cold stuff in general. Also, down in the edge of Fayetteville, there is the Goodyear plant. It used to be known as Kelly Springfield, but Goodyear bought it, and they actually converted it into an official Goodyear plant. They got hit too, and it knocked a great big old hole in their wall and a bunch of other stuff. Knocked all kinds of trees down. It was pretty bad. It just so happens I was in the mountains at the time that it happened. So thank goodness I wasn't here for it. But I was concerned about my house. I didn't know if they'd come through where I lived or not, which luckily they have not. Somebody else that I knew, whenever they come through, their house got damaged. It was rough. It took a great big sign that's out front of a motel. It was on two gigantic poles, and it folded it over to the ground. It was crazy. We actually heard about it because other people were talking about it because they saw it on their phones and on the TV. I was able to call somebody to go check my house, and they went over and took a look at the house, and everything was fine. Pretty sure I've brought y'all through here before. This is headed back to the house. I just don't think I ever told you a story about the tornadoes. It is a beautiful day to ride a motorcycle. It really is. I want to say it's 70-something degrees. Almost no clouds in the sky. And if I had time, I would actually go out and probably do some more riding a little bit later. But I got stuff to do at home. I got a few things to do at home, and then I'm planning on hopping on the computer and recording a video to upload later on. As well as tonight, I think me and the guys are getting in OCRP together tonight. I believe. That was the last that I heard, so hopefully we'll hop in there, do a little recording for that tonight. But I know I talked about before where I like to stockpile some videos so I don't have to stress trying to make a video every week. And I'm running low. I'm running very low. So I gotta try and get a few videos put together. Or should I say specifically a few gaming videos. I'm trying to make motovlogging a more regular thing. Now during the winter time it's going to fall off. Just because some days there's just no way I can get out there and ride. It's just too cold. Way too cold. But we got a while before we got to worry about that. And even during the winter time, we occasionally get a warm day because North Carolina weather is very up and down. I've seen 70 degrees in December before. I've also seen snowstorms in December too. Even though snow is basically non-existent in North Carolina. At least in the area where I live, you get more of it in the mountains. Whenever we do have snow, most of the time it's a half an inch maybe, and it don't last long because there's a good chance if it snows on Thursday, then Friday it's going to be, I don't know, 40 degrees and it's all going to melt. Which I'm sure any of y'all who live up north are probably consider that a good thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you love the snow. I love the snow, but North Carolina's infrastructure is not set up for snow. So if we have anything significant, it cripples the state. It's been a long time ago now, but I was living kind of out in the country. I lived 4 miles from the nearest gas station and about 15 miles from the nearest grocery store. I mean, I lived out there. There was nothing but fields around me. It was a nice place to live, but one year that I was living there, we got 7 inches of snow. That is unheard of in North Carolina. When I went out literally with a ruler in my own yard, right out in the middle, and we're not talking about a snowdrift, we're talking about in the middle of the yard, had 7 inches. And honestly, pretty much every business was closed. Grocery stores, convenience stores, virtually everything closed. There was nobody on the road. It was like the end of the world almost. But the main reason is not because it's we're so sensitive to snow. It's because we don't have the snow plows and the salt trucks like they do up north, or just in states that have a lot of snow. We just don't have those things. And because we don't have those things, somewhere where I lived, it might be 2 days before my road gets plowed. Now, I drove a truck at the time, and I could, drive through it, but it wasn't four-wheel drive. So I had to be careful out driving in the snow. But I haven't seen any significant snow here in quite a few years now. Well, guys, I'm rolling back up to the house now. It's been fun chatting with you. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on. And if all goes well, I'll get another one of these videos out as soon as I can. But until then, y'all be safe. And if you ride motorcycles, keep both wheels down. Bye now.